In this video, we're going to take a look at why XRP is king. We're also going to take a look at the new Blockstars series just dropped by Ripple, and it all starts right now.
And now, the XRP Minute with Chip on the Chain.
Chip here with the XRP Minute. Let's dive into the shallow end head first, shall we? So I saw this. Check this out. Blockstars with David Schwartz series. They dropped 3 new episodes. Really, I got to tell you how excited I am about this. I can't wait to consume the rest of it. We're going to go into one of the ones I listened to. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, but there was one with CEO Catherine Coley, CEO of Binance.us. He also did one with Chris Larson. And I want to tell you that David Schwartz is definitely the right person for this because he asks the right questions, and they're very poignant, well thought out questions. And I wanted to get into some of the things that he talked about in here because I thought there were some really interesting things. And then I want to tie that back into why XRP really is king. So let's take a look. One of the things that they discussed, they talked a little bit about Bitcoin. I love the broad appeal of this podcast. This podcast is really meant to be put out to everyone. Now, podcasts are being consumed at an alarming rate. For example, they keep doubling every couple of months of the listeners. It really is a wide audience that continues to grow. And I love the fact that it's not an XRP podcast. It's really, like the name says, Blockstars, about blockchain and interesting people in and around the space. So this first one, they got into some regulatory issues. Binance US, of course, a slew of other topics. One of the things that I liked that David Schwartz said in here, and it kind of resonated with me. I had to go back and listen to it a few times, but he said something that resonated. What I've discovered is the more you know, the more you realize you don't know what you actually need to know. And isn't this how it works? It's like that statement itself is so prolific. You think you know something, but you're only scratching the surface. And in the blockchain space, there's so much to learn if you look at all the way around. And then we'll take a look at why this all sort of resonates and makes sense. The challenging part, he went on to say, the challenging part is that it's really hard to understand one thing until you understand something else, and then it's about all its dependencies, right? So that's the part of it that sort of is all interconnected. He said it's one of those things where you can't have a basic understanding of something and then get a detailed understanding of another piece because they're interrelated. Well, that's what we're going to talk about, and the basis for this conversation is cryptocurrency is all related. It's not that Bitcoin is king or XRP king is king. They are. But we're going to jump into why XRP truly is king. So Catherine Coley went on to say, she happened to be talking about a customer, and they had sent some XRP to the customer. It took 4 seconds, and the customer was like, oh my God, it's here. They were shocked. And she said basically the sheer shock of knowing, you read it over and over again, you looked at all the code, you knew how it was supposed to work, but it's really when people actually experience it. If you've ever sent it to a friend, hey, I'm going to send you some. You got your phone? I got your phone. You've seen all these demos. Click, and then it goes over to them and they're there. And she went on to say, this is good because it's better that people are more excited about it than frightened about it, because blockchain can be a scary big thing. David went on to talk about a time when he said that a coder had reached out and contacted him and said, hey, I think there's something wrong with my code. You mind taking a look? Because he couldn't believe that it was actually going as fast as it was. He said, it's telling me that it's done, and it just there's no way it can be right. And David's like, no, it's right. Thing is, it's 4 seconds. If they were working on other stuff, they probably wouldn't be privy to that. So they didn't really quite understand that. Now, when we look back at let's take a Bitcoin, for example. What is Bitcoin known for? Okay, well, that's obviously the first, but it is king. Okay, Bitcoin is king when it comes to a storage of value, right? They were the number one, scarcity, only 21 million ever minted, right? This is what they're king of. However, it's not just one king on a hill. There are multiple kingdoms, and you can't just be sitting on top of a hill without a fiefdom, without people working the fields and everything else. This is the cryptocurrency space. And when it comes to cross-border payments, there is no doubt that XRP is king. You've got Ripple with the software, moving something, with institutions in 3-4 seconds. You've got Spring out there. You have Coil. You have Cinnamon Video. You have You have Forte, which is the gaming world. So you see that this is a vast area, and the use cases continue to grow. You look at Ethereum. Ethereum smart contracts, really phenomenal platform for smart contracts. ERC20 coins, you can go off there and spin up your own coin, and you can go ahead and do something with against a smart contract. So when we take a look at XRP, it's sitting up on a hill all by itself. And now people watching would say, well, there's these other people that are involved in that, and there's XLM and there's Stellar and there's some other people in the space. But here's the thing. XRP has been around the longest. They really started developing and laying down the groundwork, right? That's the use case that we look at. And we look at the ODL, the on-demand liquidity, it's way up. It's 3 times up. That means the institutions are using it. It's starting to take hold. Does it happen overnight? It doesn't. But one of the things you can rest assured in that XRP, no doubt, is king. That's my take. I want to know yours. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, click that little bell. I'm Chip, and I'm out of here.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.